Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another album review. My name is Christian Eschbach. All right, I am getting to talk about Jonny Lang in this one. All right. Um, oh, I'm not sure how to cover this one properly, so I'm just gonna kind of rip into this one. Uh, if you like blues, this is one of an album, man. I mean, like this is just soaked in blues, absolutely soaked in it, beginning to end. There is nothing on this album that does not have blues in it of some form. But the lyrics are a bit cliche on the blues. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the blues is the blues for a reason. And the other thing with this as well is with the blues being the blues, by the end of the album, I kind of tune out. Like in about the mid section of this album, I kind of like, oh man. I was noticing when I was listening to it right before I did the playback right before I went to go do this review that I get about halfway through the album and I really just want to take a break. Part of that is the songs in the middle of the album. Part of that is it's a blues album. And that's it. It's a blues album. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So Jonny Lang, Wandering World. The album opens up with Still Raining. Great way to open up the album. This sets the vibe for the whole thing. I've mentioned in quite a few of my reviews that soul, Motown, bluesy kind of song. I talked about it really heavy when I talked about the Commitments soundtracks. I love the Commitments movie, and most of this whole album could fit in that movie, no problem. But at the same time, if it wasn't for Jonny Lang's guitar work, specifically, and the way that he flourishes and his notation and the way that he just kind of riffs into it and whatnot, this album would fall flat kind of fast. Like I already mentioned, the lyrics pretty basic. The blues pretty basic. There are 12 songs on here. Album opens up with Still Raining, which sets the mood perfectly. Then you got Second Guessing, which this one has more of a twang to it, almost country-esque, but still blues. Track 3, I Am. This one's really funky, man. I actually really like the funk on this one. It gets some wah-wah pedal going on there. It has some real funk sound to it. Not just, because there's wah-wah, but there's actual funk sound to it. Then we got Breaking Me, which follows that up. This is more country ballad-esque. And I'm pretty sure that this one may have been popular. Might have had some radio play, because this was like one of the... Still Raining, Breaking Me, and there's a couple other ones I'm going to get to as we go through. I actually remember hearing before listening to this album, and this is not my album, so I don't know where this came from. Then we get into the title track, Wandering World. This one's got a really folksy, bluesy kind of sound to it. I really like this one. This is not one that I remember from before, but this is honestly probably one of my favorites on this album. Then we hit Walking Away. This one honestly just bored the crap out of me. Absolutely, totally, and utterly just bored the crap out of me. The Levy follows that up. This is just basic blues, nothing special. That's followed up with Angel of Mercy. And Angel of Mercy, this one's got a slower groove to it, a slower bluesy groove to it. But I really kind of dig on this one. The lyrics are a little repetitive, but I really kind of dig on this one. But it is, once again, very standard blues, cliche kind of stuff. Right Back follows Right Back follows that up. This one's a straightforward blues rock kind of tune. There's this one, honestly, as much as I say blues rock, it really, when I hear it, every time it makes me think of Shania Twain's That Don't Impress Me Much. That before you go into that don't impress me much. There's just elements that really sound like it was taken and inspired by that. Leaving to Stay follows that up. This is slower blues. I don't mind this one, but this one and Walking Away are two of the reasons I'm not so big on this album when I play it the whole way through. In a mix, fantastic. Individually, a little repetitive-ish. Okay, then we get to track 11, which is Before You Hit the Ground. This one just funky as man. Like, I mean, this one just funky, man. It's got a whole lot of funk, man. I mean, woo! That's got some stank on it, man. That's just some right funky stuff, man, going on there. And I really, really love my funky stuff. And then the album finishes with Cherry Red Wine. And Cherry Red Wine is a fantastic song. It closes out this album perfectly. But because of the way that this album is and how you can only do so much with the blues, folks. Okay, I've played blues, I've jammed in blues. I am great with blues. I love the blues. Get some harmonica going. Blues is great. And as much as I talk about the guitar work on here, the piano work on here is fantastic as well. All the instrumentation on here, realistically, is really, really good. Kind of wish they had everybody listed off easily to read here, and they don't. The musicianship on this album is top notch, and the fact that it's not all guitar driven. There's a lot of piano on it. There's a lot of I believe I remember hearing some horns in here. Stuff like that. It's layers mixing within each other, not stepping on each other, not trying to showboat, not trying to shine. Basically, everything kind of plays and works off of each other like really, really good blues should do. This album, realistically, if you're a blues fan, if you're more into blues than I am, you would probably, there's a good possibility you could rate this album a lot higher than I would. I really believe that certain people would rate this album definitely a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10. Like, this does, as a blues album goes, borders on really close to a perfect blues album. But for me, not quite there. Like I said, Walking Away does absolutely nothing for me. Leaving to Stay really doesn't do much for me either. If both of those tracks were removed out of here, I might be more inclined to go with a perfect 10 on this album. The Levee doesn't do too much for me either. It really doesn't. So even then, if you took all three of those out, then I could definitely go with, okay, it's a perfect 10. With those three in there, it's not a bad album. It's actually a really good album still. Me personally, have a harder time sitting the whole way through it. It's just that much too long, or there needs to be a little bit more diversity in there, like, it's a great representation of all the multi-styles of blues, but at the same time, still just not quite perfect for me yet. But that being said, this is definitely better than probably about 90% of the AC/DC catalog. So if you're really looking for some kick-ass blues, man, especially rock kind of based blues, oh yeah, that's the stuff. Anyways, folks, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. Leave me your comments down below. Am I being too hard on this album? Am I not being hard enough? Is there another Jonny Lang album I should go out there and check out that is going to blow my mind? That is what I want to know. Check out the links while you're down near the comments. There's a couple of them down there. There's a like button, a subscribe button, a bell for notifications. If you could hit those as well, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care.